here talking with Patrick.
So come take a look at my projects.
So, what is it you do?
I make large kinetic art, so big giant sculptures that move, and it's a lot of fun. And I came to a philosophy years and years ago that, probably from my parents, that you can do things that you like to do.
Where do you get your inspiration?
Some of my inspiration is driven by the client. Like if I'm making a piece of art for a festival, for instance, it's got to be dramatic or big or engaging and that kind of thing. Or I like to make people smile, like people to have a good time. I like to incorporate some kinds of science, usually. So there's like a scientific principle that excites me, and I'll think, wow, how could I do something artistic with that?
How many people are in your group?
My company changes, fluctuates, depends on the size of the project. We did a project in China for the Beijing Olympics, and we brought like 12 Westerners over from the United States and Mexico and went to China, and over there we had a crew of like 50 to 60 Chinese people. The current project that we're working on, there's like 6 of us that are working. It just depends. Like, we built a big astronaut, and there was probably 15 people making the astronaut, and then when we were working the festival, we took it to a festival, there was probably 30 people working with us because we had to do shifts. So yeah, it took people to operate it.
What were you like as a kid?
I lucked out to have parents that really encouraged us to not have limits and to really pursue what we want to do. My mother started a school that didn't have a lot of the same kind of rules, and so like we didn't have chairs, right? So all of us sat on the ground with the teacher. We all sat around in a circle, and it was very sort of fluid environment. We were encouraged to get along and encouraged to help each other and to sort of think outside the box, and that was really, really helpful. Where it wasn't helpful was it was a little bit loose, and so some skills I didn't get as much of, or things that I need now. So in the work that I do now, I really need math, for instance, and science. So today, even still, I have a hard time with math. I constantly am having to teach myself and retrain myself. So in hindsight, I wish I'd done better with math because it's necessary for what I do now. And I love what I do now, so I really I wish I'd learned math better. Because a lot of what I do is dangerous. You know, like we're building big robots that are hanging over people's heads, and I really need to make sure it's safe, and that takes calculations of math and stuff. So it's really worth learning the math and learning the science, whatever it is that you need.
Did you have any challenges as a kid?
My father didn't like that school so much. He came more from the side of eat your vegetables and learn the rules and follow the lines and all that stuff. And he encouraged me to skip 6th grade. So I went from 5th grade into public junior high school in 7th grade. A year younger than everybody else, and then I was a really small kid. So I was under 5 feet and under 100 pounds until 11th grade. Like the middle of 11th grade is when I finally grew. So it was always this real struggle for me growing up because I was just so small and left behind. And that was really tough. Being small and wanting to fit in and stuff was really, really challenging.
How did you create your own path?
I was able to find my path through those situations by hanging out with people that didn't care about the superficial stuff, like what you wear, what clothes you wear, what music you listen to. And I found that what really matters is not the little things, not the superficial things, but the genuine things. That lesson alone has carried me through. The people that I'm friends with are solid, intentional people. I don't have superficial friendships. I don't have any time. There's so many beautiful, wonderful people in the world, and I don't have time to listen to people that are just wanting to sit in drama. So there's so much good stuff to do and so many good people to hang out with and so much to learn, and I think I got that from needing to find my path.
What would you give yourself advice if you could go back to when you're younger and give
Go back in
advice?
time. If I wanted to improve my childhood life, I would probably tell them earlier that what other people think about you isn't really the thing that matters. That there's people that will jump up and say mean things, and then there's people that are sitting quieter inside of the room, and they're not thinking the same things. They're just afraid of being called that themselves, and that whole cycle is really ugly. And I would tell them none of that really matters. At the end of the day, you look back on your life, and I don't remember all those things that people said to me. What I remember is things I chose to do, not things I chose not to do. And live with no regrets. Just do it. Just like, if you find something you're passionate about, do it. If you want to talk to somebody beautiful, do it. You got nothing to lose, and the things you will regret are things you didn't try, didn't do. So just do it. Have fun. That made no sense, but I'll put it. Not even a little bit. It's a hard question. Like, what would you, it's not like live your dream,